Alright, hello and welcome here today, and we are live. It's going to be Georeghigton City versus Sporting Sand Lake, and this will be live right now. So, cup action lineup for today. Thank you very much there, Richard Keys. My name is obviously today Joshua Cole, alongside James Davis, and this is going to be the game for today. City versus Sporting, cup quarter final. We have J.O.B. up front, we have Fred, Diego Maradona attacking midfield, Paul Folan as well, Alex Tarvis, and then Yao Martino. Defence got Diallo, Rahul, Godin, Keane, and Marassa. On the bench, we have Mark ter Stegen, Coke, Neymar, Hersey, Nagolan, Alaba, Messi, Damien Smallford, and Boateng. For Sporting, we have Wilfred Boney, Sammy Eto'o, Enwell El Ghazi, Stephen Buhers, Ben Benson, Miguel Veloso, Alan Neong. We have Sebastian Pradell, Sokrios Papadopoulos, Theo Hernandez, and goalkeeper be Bill Hilton. On the bench, we've got Daniel Turner, Andre Davis, Jamie Hopcutt, Curtis Edwards, Joel Yao Buran Nuri, Samon Godos, and Ken Sema, and Kiki. We'll get straight at the game right now. It's going to be City versus Sporting. Cup game here today. It's going to be live. The RSA Open Cup quarterfinals. Parantos qualified, Goldfield qualified, and Chesterfield Blue Tigers have advanced into the semi-finals of the RSA Open Cup. It could be they could end up joining them today if whoever wins between Sporting or Georgetown City. It's a big game for Sporting though compared to City, because City have obviously got Europa League, but for Sporting, they want to try and be using this competition as something they want to have a good cut run. What do you think about that? Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a good cut run for Sporting. I think, I think they deserve a cut run. I really think they should maybe go all the way to the final. But Graham Potter's doing great at the team. He's making them more of a defensive team. A team don't concede many goals this season, and they've done that in terms of where they are at the moment. They're not in the relegation zone. They're in survival, or like 20 points away from that. So they look like they're safe anyways. But a cup run may be very, very healthy for them, possibly to maybe go all the way, maybe win the whole thing to qualify for the Europa League next year, possibly. Yes. Anyway, it's gonna be a real proper game here today. Obviously, Jose Mourinho's not going to go for his proper team out today. He's going to go for his second team. He's letting the reserves play and the young academy players play today, and some youth and some second team players on the bench to play on today's team. Because here we go, and let's get straight into it. The second team comes out for today. It's Georeghigton City versus Sporting Sand Lake, the quarterfinals. Who will be joining the three other teams in the semi-finals of the RSA Open Cup by the first week of weekend of May? So we'll see about that. Now it's Marcus Rothhole with the ball. Tarvas. Fred. Now Fred. Maradona. Now Fred. Now Wilfred Boney. Eto'o lost the ball there. Now get Diego Godin. Now Maradona now. Now J.O.B. Diego Dalot. Okay. Got a different team. Obviously Messi, Neymar, and Hersey's not playing today because they're resting them for the Europa League game on Thursday. They did get a 1-0 advantage on Thursday against Padres in the in the Europa League quarterfinals because they want to try and advance into the semis, and they need to win that competition to get into that Champions League next season anyway. So they have to try and use that competition as an advantage. They're not in the top four anyway, so I think that's more important for them at the moment. And it's going to be out for a throw. Now Paul Foden will take the throw in. Marcus Rothhull. Now Dalot. Martinho. Header. Oh, very, very close. There's no fans in the stadium today. It's like we are playing behind closed doors because of COVID-19, and fans obviously don't want to get ill and die from this disease, so we are playing behind closed doors. And at the moment, it's now Martinho. Now it's Martinho. Maradona, what was the ball there for J.O.B.? Now Fred. Maradona's one of the legend players for City. So he should pretty much be the one on the score sheet as well, Diego Maradona. There's Martinho. Found a bit of space, and now Maradona's through. A goal from Diego Maradona. And Georeghigton City are in front in the cup. And number 100, Diego Maradona scores to make it. Yeah, the legend player, the Premier League's legend player, pack guy, Diego Maradona scores. And Georeghigton City are in front. And even Jose Mourinho on the sidelines will be very delighted to see how he scored. Very good goal. City have equalised. And it's 1-0. Even though Sporting Sunlight drew 0-0 last week against the they actually played against a team in the other side of Georeghigton last week. They played against their rivals Georgetown United in the RSA Open Cup away from home at Old Factory Road Stadium. They drew 0-0 against them last week, so they were very defensive all game. But today, they're not like that at all. They're the opposite. Now Martinho here. Now Fred. Oh. So it seems that City might take the step to the semi-finals. They're going to go back to Soccer City Stadium like they were like a few weeks ago, because they played in the KFC League Cup final against Goldfield Boys United. They actually beat them 3-1 in that game. So that means that City did win the KFC League Cup. And they might go back there again for May, because they'll be advancing to the semi-finals of the competition if they actually keep it 1-0. There's Maradona again here. Maradona here. It's 2-0. Bravo goal. And City have equalised again. So it's a goal. It's 2-0 City. And that is a very good goal there from Diego Maradona. One of the legends of all time. Former Barcelona player, Napoli player. The hand of God. Cheater against England, of course, in 1986 World Cup. Equalises again to make it 2-0 to Georeghigton City. Very good goal. And there you have it. The score is Georeghigton City 2, Sporting Sunlake nothing at half time.
Remarkable contest, decorated by goals, and two between them at half-time.
Right, let's get straight into the second half. It's Georeghigton City 2, Sporting Sun Lake nothing. Good ball. We are back here for the second half here. Good chance here. Make it a second. OB goal from a young 18-year-old. Straight from the second half. And even though that half-time report was done with Diego Maradona's trick shots, the young 17-year-old young boy scores to make it 3-0 City. Yeah, City have advanced themselves into the semi-finals of the competition. And yes, City would be very, very delighted. Even though the game was very, very good, even Mourinho will be delighted. I think they could just sit back and just watch them play because they've been phenomenal. Without Hershey on the field today, they've been absolutely fantastic. So 3-0. Big boot away. Side. Got 3 o'clock games kicking off around the Premier. We've got 4 Premier League games will be played later. Coming up after this, we'll be doing the Extreme Football League. We're doing the early games kicking off. It's going to be the Sandfield Bakunas and the Johnston Bay Jaguars, and then the Canton Chiefs versus the Ogun Titans. They're the only 2 games will be played the early kickoff on XFL. At the post. And then after that, we have we also have the Major Hockey League will be played. Major Hockey League will be played, so it'll be the Hurricanes versus the Pennsylvania Flyers, the Newport Islanders versus the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then we have the 4 other games will be played. And then we'll do the Lake, and then we'll go for an advert break around 6ish, and then make the room a bit darker because obviously it'll be night time in the Republic States. And then we'll be doing the 2 other XFL matches, and then we'll do basketball, and then we'll go off from there. There's no late games today on ESPN because of there's no games because of the what's his name. It's a chance for a shot goal. Now Sporting do get 1 goal back though, and it was a goal there from Mikel Veloso. So 3-1 the score at the moment. Very, very good. Chance here to make it a 4th goal here. I think J.O.B. will be very, very happy. He's young, he's 17 years, he's a young boy here. He's got his first ever City goal. Even Yaya Yeboah scored yesterday. Even Jadon Sancho scored his first ever goal for Chester. There's a lot of young kids are playing in this competition because all the top players will be played on reserve because they're trying to get rested for the other games is important. Like Champions League this week and Europa League games this week as well. City do want to win this competition to get into that Champions League next season. And if he does, then Mourinho will stay at City. If Mourinho does win the Europa League and doesn't get into the top 4, then he'll get sacked. Because the board made that perfectly clear. He missed out last year. He missed out Champions League for the first time. 2 seasons before that, he was successful. He won the Premier League title twice. He's won the Europa League as well. Then he won the got the final of the Champions League against United. They lost in the final, but they were world class then. But then since then, they've been bottle jobbers. They've been under Mourinho. He'll get sacked if you don't get his team into the top. Into that top 4 anyway, he'll get sacked. The rumour that Spurs might get him next season because Pochettino's going to go join Georgington United, and maybe Mourinho might go back to England again and manage Tottenham, apparently so. 3-1 at the moment for City. Defending. Good. Good passing around here. Now clearance. Foul. Now J.O.B. Now Patino. Now OB. Oh, foul. No, he just took him out. Penalty. J.O.B. got fouled in the penalty box, but yeah, it wasn't the case. It's offside apparently. So according to the ref, the flag was down. It was a penalty. I thought it was onside, but okay. We got 5 minutes left until the end of the game. Anyway, 5 more minutes to go. Good tackle. Free kick. Now Diego Maradona. Free kick there. And the whistle blow any minute now to keep it 3-1 here. And Georgington City will advance themselves into the semi-finals of the RSA Open Cup. Thanks to that man, Diego Maradona. What a goals he scored today. City progress into the semi-finals of the RSA Open Cup. Very good game it's been today. And City are through. And it's all over. Full-time score is Georgington City 3, Sporting San Lake 1 in the quarterfinals. Okay, that means that it'll be Parantos, Georgington City, Goldfield, and also Chestergo will be in the semi-finals in Soccer City Stadium in May. So very, very good. Right, that'll be that on this stream.